So hello, one and all. Welcome back to Podcast with Neil on Netflix Football. And Manchester United versus Liverpool is upon us. But before that, all the protests are again going on. I'll give you as much as live feed and live news, as much as I'm entitled to, and as much as I get news from on daily updates on various sources that I have. And we already have had a podcast in the last pre-match that we planned upon. So the only surviving guest that is there from the podcast last time, let's have them on. Let's have the panels on screen right now. So here they are. To my left, returning is Mr. Neil, my nemesis. To my right is the ever virgin Oyanda. And below that is Shayan with his bold predictions. And to his left is Kunalji, as usual, who's the only surviving member from that podcast that we did. And as far as news that I have got, before going into the lineup stuff, we'll go into the lineup stuff as and when it appears. I'll just show you live images of what outside Old Trafford is at this moment right now. Okay, wrong screen share. Okay, just a sec. Okay, this is the one. Yeah. So these are the images that are happening as we speak, and as the Liverpool buses had been not attacked, that they had been stopped, the tires had been gouged, and police protection had to be called in. Fans were saying that they were going into Old Trafford. Kunalji, going into straight, we discussed about this, right? And do you think, I know protesting is a good thing, but do you think the United fans have taken it a bit too far with what they're doing this time?
Yeah, I think we discussed this last time as well. There were protests which were ongoing. Uh, yeah, I mean, there is a way to protest. I mean, uh, last, I mean, see, if you want to protest, right, it's against the owners. Why do you want to disrupt a team which is doing so well already? And there might be a case where, there could be a potential ban or something like that. And then Liverpool being arch rivals, why would you want them to qualify for Europe and get 3 points for no reason? So, there's a proper manner to protest. There's a proper way to protest. You've already proved your point once. If you want to do something, then you protest against the owners, right? There are several other ways as well. Why do why to resort to these things? I don't understand this, and it's not really reflective of what Manchester United fans are, honestly. Specifically, the way it happened last time, it was really very bad.
Considering the fact that we have already had this kind of a protest, and like I was hearing the motto of the mancs that were present there, that if they let the game go on, that is not a victory for them. They want the game to be cancelled. They want a tight slap on the owner's face. But I don't know what the Liverpool team or the United team, the players who are not a part of this, has got to do. Neil, I'll go to you on this straight because I'm asking you this for the first time. Is this, we have talked about numerous times about how to protest and how this protest has been a good cause since fans have had enough of the ESL, but again, tad bit too far. Neil, you're on mute. Okay, you're on unmute. Go on.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. See, protesting against the owners or the Glazers as a whole is completely understandable from a United fans' perspective. From their point of view, it is absolutely understandable, but it has a limit to it. I can't completely buy the fact that there were absolutely no guards or nothing, and the fan came into the Old Trafford area and their arena all by themselves. Are you kidding me? That can't be true. That there are no guards, no one to stop them or to stop a huge crowd, let alone police and other people. United's or maybe Old Trafford's own employees or guards are not there. That comes another part. We have seen images of Gary Neville fist bumping the fans who went in to the Old Trafford last time. So some way or the other, it actually intrigues me that whether people from inside the club are also involved in it or not. Saying that apart, there are rules that you need to follow, and that comes up vehemently when it comes to the club's officials and especially the club itself. First time when this happened, we were thinking that 1 point, sharing a point or each or something like that. But both the clubs decided that we want the match, we want our competitiveness. We don't just want points out of nowhere. But the second time, if this happens, I think I I would like FA to intervene in this. As long as, see, Glazers have done absolutely horrific things to the club. I, being a Liverpool fan, I have been giving you some, data and everything. We have been sharing a lot about that, but that's horrendous. That's not acceptable what they have been doing in the last decade or so. But really, this is not the way how you protest. And this is actually giving us, as being the arch rivals, easy way out through to get into the top four. And if your rules are to be followed, your points should be deducted from United. That, how is that helping United at all? How is that helping? Look at this picture. How would this help United? How?
I have no question. As live news is coming in, guys, live news is saying that Liverpool team has made their way into Old Trafford in another entrance. They've got in Old Trafford. Live images have been there. Due to copyright issues, I cannot show you the live videos. I'll get an image as soon as possible. The match is going on as per schedule. The Liverpool team has made their way into the Old Trafford Stadium. The protests are still ongoing. The police have still been involved. They're approaching from a distance, because in those countries, protesting is not a crime. Protests are still going on, but let's see. But like to highlight Obradip's comment. And Obradip, by the way, congratulations on Manchester City winning the Premier League. Much well deserved. So if you want to protest, go and protest in front of the Glazers. What is the point of this kind of a protest? Actually, this makes sense. Shayan, I'll have your views on this. Do you think that protesting and actually cancelling the match, how does that make an effect on the Glazers? Are they even bothered about football?
I don't think so that it will affect the Glazers because for so many long years, whatever the team is doing or howsoever the team is performing in the Premier League, they just don't give. I should not use that F word. So they just don't give anything to the club. They're just not bothered actually. Their work is to just put money and how to earn profit. They're just those businessmen who just want to earn profit from a well-established football club like Manchester United, and they're just not bothered about the performances. And we can clearly see that by their actions they have taken for the manager, actually to help him to gain players, quality players. So they just don't actually give. They just do not care what is going on. So even if the match is cancelled, I think they actually don't bother. So it can really affect the club and the club's future. And the fans should know that there is a way to protest. I completely agree that there is a way to protest. And if you want to protest, then go against the Glazers. Just don't harm the match, which is a historic match. Manchester United and Liverpool. We all are in COVID situation, and we all are at home. We want to watch a good football match. If you want to protest, then please do it in a proper manner, just not before the game. It just ruins the mood. It ruins the like the whole situation. And you can and Manchester United can end up in trouble because of its own fans. So I think they should take care of it, and I think the security should be really taking care of it.
Security is one thing, and your thoughts on the matter, because security is there. They're watching that. Neil, I was discussing with Neil that, yeah, Gary Neville was seeing fist bumping with the fans that made their way in, and he was correct that the fact that how do you even get into such a tight security area without somebody in the inside involved in it? How does Gary Neville go and say that this is correct, this thing is correct on live British television? The act, clearly there were acts of hooliganism, but again, do you think that this is something that the Old Trafford insiders or the Old Trafford faithful, something conspiring? Do you smell conspiracy in all over this? And
Well, see now, as we all agree that protesting is okay, is legal as long as it's within bounds. But this is not what is happening here. Yes, the as United fans, we know the Glazers have really not done anything that that boosts our morale or takes the club forward. Yes, there is resentment among all the fans all over the world, and yes, that is just what we are. we are feeling that towards the Glazers. But yes, protesting like this against your own team, that is not really the way to go about it. Because okay, once you have done this once, you've done this in the previous week. You have help postpone the match, but doing it again just to prove a point that you want the
And
owners out,
because of that
that's really too far.
postponement, we lost against Leicester. Clearly.
Yes, obviously, because that 3 matches in 5 days is one match we had to sacrifice. And given the magnanimity of this match, this Manchester United versus Liverpool, this will probably be the last big match of the season, and last something of a consequential match, because the champions have been decided, the relegation places have been confirmed. Only thing that is left is that who will get that European places, and that will probably be decided on the last day of the season, which is really inconsequential. And now at this moment in time, Manchester United versus Liverpool, the fans, even the neutral ones, are looking forward to this match. And if the FA does, decide to intervene, and I think which they should, if something goes awry, if they deduct points of Manchester United, we will stand the risk of losing out on the top four spot. And with Harry Maguire out, the Europa final is also very, very looking very tense for us. So losing out on a Champions League place after such a well played and hard fought season will be heartbreaking.
Absolutely. Simran has joined in. Simran is a Manchester City fan, by the way, from Real Madrid fan because she could not take the loss. Okay, she's not supporting Manchester City, but let's see. Okay, so he said match hoga bhi ya nahi? Yeah, match is going to go on as Shantanda commented that Liverpool team has entered Old Trafford through an alternate entrance, so the match should be as per schedule, and I can confirm that with the news coming on Twitter. Shomadip Das says that if you want to protest, then keep it continued. Protest every day in front of the ground. Why only on match days? This is illogical. Absolutely, absolutely on point. Bang on point.
Neil, I would like
Okay,
to add something here.
yeah, go on.
Couple of points. So one is there is a new update that has just came in, and this is from the Athletic. They are saying that United officials had already planned, and they knew that there will be a protest. So they had set up beds in the corporate boxes,
Yeah, yeah.
and the United team drove to the stadium 6 hours early.
Mhm.
And so that's the first point. The second point regarding the conspiracy, and this might sound like a very big. So, do you remember Jose Mourinho once said that Gary Neville is hatching a plan to own Manchester United? I don't know whether you
Mhm.
remember that or not, but he had said that very categorically. And one of his agents, in fact, said that. And he said that he has this plan. And last time when this happened, this kind of propped up in my mind that why is he doing that? They have been constantly raising the banners of 50 plus 1, and every one of them is doing that. They're saying that
Mhm.
this club belongs to the fans, right? And Gary Neville has been in the forefront of all these things. And as you rightly said, how can any fan just enter randomly? Is there no security? Obviously, there's an inside job
Even
also.
even even Kunalji, even we saw that security was standing, but weren't
Yeah,
doing anything. They were
yeah,
supposed
exactly.
they were supposed to take action when because that was trespassing. Clearly, that was trespassing.
So I think this is some sort of a conspiracy to kind of take over the club. It might sound very
No, it's very rational.
odd, but yeah, it seems like that because nobody's stopping them. Nobody's saying anything to them under that ESL. ESL is not happening. Everybody knows that. So now what are you so pissed off about? And
And
why is yeah.
another
And who will
important
get
thing
that
is that
50 plus 1? That's the main question. Who is getting that 50 plus 1?
and mainly the fans
That's the big
are
question, right? Is every
taking.
is Neil getting the 50 plus 1 ownership also? You are getting the shares by sitting in India. You might not get it. Who is getting that? That's the
मिलता
big
तो
question.
अच्छा होता. Yeah, Anda,
You are
quickly.
also a
Yes,
fan, right?
and
You should
they
also
are
get it.
probably mainly targeting this match in particular because all the limelight is here. Everybody is watching, everybody is seeing that. And okay, it's okay. You've done this once. That's the main point. You've done this, you've won that day, you postponed the match to a later date. So why are you again just, driving your own name through the mud, driving Manchester United name through the mud? Yes, I know it's the big fan base, and to see these protesters, they think that everyone will get agitated, but no, it's getting irritating now. 2 days in a
Yeah,
row, we are all sitting here wanting to watch a good football match take place, and you are just disrupting this throughout the entire world. So even us fans will not want this to continue, and we want the match, obviously. So the protesters should understand that if they are true Manchester United fans, and just stop this and go home and watch the match. Come on.
They want the match not to go through. Okay. By the meanwhile, the lineups are out. I'll just quickly read through the lineups. Dean Henderson starts on goal for Manchester United. And by the way, before I read the lineups, there was a leaked lineup somebody posted, like saying that this is the leaked lineup. And I said to that guy, "यार इसमें leak क्या होने वाला था? This is the only lineup that we could have fielded and that we always field." And that's the lineup. Dean Henderson on goal, Van Bissaka, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Fred and McTominay as always in that midfield pivot. Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Edinson Cavani, as usual, as expected of Manchester United. With Liverpool, though, it's Alisson on goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, and Andrew Robertson on the defense. Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho, Thiago Alcantara on midfield. Mohamed Salah, Bobby Firmino, and Diego Jota starts in place of Sadio Mane. I'll go straight to Shayan. United lineup, Cavani starting, Greenwood missing out. Do you think that you're happy with this midfield? Again,
Uh,
Fred McTominay.
okay, I mean, like you go back that day when I told you that I don't like Fred McTominay. Who gave the ball away? It was Fred and
Mm-hmm.
McTominay, right? That's why I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want them to play. They're very inconsistent, and I know Fred and McTominay. Very honestly, they're very hard-working players. I really like them. I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
They're those lads for the boss who wants to go out and express themselves. No, they are very good. They're very good at what they do, but not at the moment. They are very inconsistent. So I don't like Fred McTominay. Apart from that, I knew that David De Gea wouldn't start. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
very sad about David De Gea. I'm not really happy because City has already got the title. So I'm really not in a mood today. And apart from shifting from United, I would like to go to the Liverpool team, and I'm really eager to watch Diego Jota because I'm a big fan of Diego Jota. I really like him. I really like him. Like he has that Luke Shaw kind of factor where he cuts in and goes in the box or curls some shots in from outside the box. I'm really a big fan of Diego Jota, so I would really watch the game very closely. I was waiting to watch this match and all those protests and all going on. Yes, apart from that, I'm happy with the squad. I have nothing to say because Ole Gunnar's tactics just clicks every day, so I have no problem with that.
Quite bold from you. Neil, I'll go with you with the Liverpool lineup that you just saw right now. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I've been telling you, like, right, that just let Fabinho play in the central defensive midfield. Let him play in that role, and Thiago's class will speak for himself. We don't need to tell people or beat his drums to people that how good he is. We've seen that over years and years, and that's what I wanted. And probably I would like Wijnaldum to play a bit, supporting role to Fabinho, so that Thiago can move up a bit much more frequently than he usually does. That we have been seeing of him in this season, and also seeing that Jota would be playing, and he brings in a factor where you don't know what he's going to do. Mane, we know that what Mane loves to do. He just, he's all about speed, and he moves straight, and but you can't predict what Jota would do, and that's something I think Thiago could capitalize on, and also considering the factor that I guess Maguire is out. So that's a huge thing where Jota would come in. I'm counting
Right.
on it.
Kunalji, you're always sad about the midfield pairing that Liverpool puts up. And would you think that Liverpool have gone a bit on the brighter side with the midfield choices that they have on tonight's match?
Yeah, this one looks much better. I think last time when I came, I was literally blasting everyone, specifically Klopp. This looks slightly better, but I think it's a bit of a puzzle situation for us. We have, I think, our back line has two inexperienced defenders again, Cavani, which will be a little bit of a task. So uh, Klopp has chosen to trust them. So let's see how that goes. Uh, Thiago has finally scored a goal now. So hopefully there'll be some more confidence. And regarding Jota will be a key because I mean simply because I think somebody just said that I am a big fan of Jota, and even I am a big fan of Jota. But the fact is, he has to rise himself against up a little bit, because he's still that Jota who was playing for Wolves, right? He scores goals in patches and then he disappears, right? That's what is happening right now. He hasn't scored for a while again, so he needs to score more consistently and become a new Diego Jota of Liverpool. So good platform for him to prove himself. I personally wouldn't have wanted Firmino in there. I would have rather wanted Mane, honestly. Mane scored in the last game, so maybe would have given him a bit of a confidence. But yeah, I think
Rumor
one
has
thing
it
that
that
I
he's still
found
in
was that
Wan-Bissaka's pocket.
I think it's clear that Manchester United hates Liverpool, right? Because last game you literally landed like your under 15 team, and this game everybody is back like it's the Champions League final, right? So at the
Come
last
on,
game,
come on. We played Aston Villa 24 or 36 hours earlier. You cannot expect to feel the same players. If it would
Arey
have
yaar,
been
he could have
Liverpool,
rested in Roma also, right? He didn't rest any of the players, and then all of
no,
them
no,
are
six.
now coming.
Come on,
Like,
four goals against Roma, and come on, you guys have actually helped known how to come back from a 3 goal deficit, scored 4 goals in a Champions League or a European semi-final night, isn't it? So who could take the risk? And again, Peter
well,
Drury's comment.
it's us against the world. We'll take it. It's okay.
Jurgen's club Liverpool was like Thanos. He just did that, and the game changed overnight.
Okay,
The
okay.
Liverpool which played in the previous.
Okay, I'll go to Ananda on the fact that this young gentleman who had started 70 odd games on the trot for Manchester United, barring one or two, the fact that he's out and he's injured his ligaments as far as the news is in, and is a risk for the Euros as well. So I don't care about Gareth Southgate because he's Gareth Southgate and he knows how to fuck up an entire generation of English talented footballers. And skipping for that, United, just talk us through how much United are going to miss him tonight. There has been banter, there has been immense banter, and there has been stupendous banter about him, and very few have actually come and say that. Yeah, I've seen rival fans actually respecting him for coming out of his shell of his price tag, going forward with what he, even though accepting his defensive errors and putting in a shift as well as very crucial performances when the other defensive backline always more or less used to falter. How much are we going to miss him tonight and possibly the Europa League finals against a very capable Gerard Moreno in the Villarreal ranks?
Well, I'll just get to your question on Harry Maguire. I just first want to add something to Kulanji's statement that we, fielded almost an under 15 team against Leicester. Peter Drury said something the other day against Aston Villa that you can't field a week 11 against Liverpool, right? It's against the law. So yeah, so we will field a strong 11 against Liverpool, obviously, because we want this to be a good match and we respect our biggest rivals in that country. Coming to this Harry Maguire situation, it's a big hit for us. It's a hit below the belt, and I don't really know how are we going to deal with this. Now, to all those slanders and banters that he has had to endure since he came in, as you said, he's played 70 odd matches and like non-stop. And since he has played all those matches, the people are more inclined to you know point out his mistakes because they've seen so much of him, right? But now when he's actually not in that central defensive pairing, people are now going to see what we will miss, because he was that mainstay, he was that rock that was starting to gel with Lindelof. Not starting, he was doing very well with Lindelof. That central back, that pairing, the defensive line was set up for us. And now all of a sudden, after a very unfortunate injury, like falling, he was falling, and I think it was El Ghazi who fell on his knee with his full weight. So it was a very unfortunate injury. And yeah, looking forward, yes, the league is not that much of a problem at the moment. The main problem is going to be the Europa final, because Villarreal are a very strong side, and we have that history of faltering against Spanish opponents. I really hate that, but we do. And without him, marshalling the defense and also marshalling the troop as the captain, it's going to be very difficult, and we might lose out on the Europa League eventually.
Quite an interesting statement over there. I'll ask Neil his two cents on the whole Maguire situation. I know we discussed about how he had been in Greek prison and then had his fair share of errors, came upon. But as a leader, right? As a leader, how much has he impressed you?
See, I have been telling you that Harry Maguire is probably has been the answer to Liverpool's Van Dijk. When we signed Van Dijk, no one believed in him, to be very honest, especially with that price tag of 75 million for a defender. And I was one of them, to be very honest. I didn't believe that he had so much quality that we should pay 75 million for that man. And I was rightfully proved wrong. And that was, I feel that United was under pressure at that point of time. They had to reply back something or the other. And Harry Maguire perhaps was at his peak at that point of time, plus the English quota and everything. So yeah, why not? Go for Harry Maguire, all guns in, and 80 million, sign him up. Yeah, fine, understood. But he has given stellar performances. Let's not doubt that he's given stellar performances. He's been good at times. He's been excellent at times. But it's all about that price tag, isn't it? If he was bought for around 40 million, we wouldn't have any questions. We wouldn't have even doubted his abilities. We would have said, brilliant signing, yeah, mastermind. Look what Hoiberg is doing. Absolute beast he is over there. He's a Viking playing in the defensive midfield role. And if at the same price Maguire was bought, there wouldn't have been any questions. But it's all about that price tag. At the same position, at the same point, I have seen Harry Maguire marking Wan Bissaka. I have seen Harry Maguire almost choke slamming Lindelof. So I've seen everything. So there are ups and downs in a game, and there are ups and downs in everyone's professional life as well. So let's not get into that. But 80 million for him, that was, I guess, a bit overpriced. That's all right. It's English to English clubs and all of that is understandable. But the injury that he suffered, actually, one of my friends recently suffered that same injury just before the pandemic hit us, and and
I'm out.
And he made a great deal of it, didn't he? It was like a
he
minor
made,
injury, and he was like, "Oh my God, my
yeah,
leg is cut off from my body!" Like, come on, man.
it didn't happen in one segment. Okay, it happened in two installments. The first time,
It's gone.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this.
No,
The
wait.
first time
The
it happened,
person whom with it happened is with the podcast right now. It happened in front of Cheyenne.
I don't care. Just listen. The first time it
That was
happened,
like,
he was that was very serious of him. He said,
I
I
met
might have
him
broken
because
my
of my
leg and all
ligament
those.
injury.
I might have broken my leg or something like that. Few days later, he was all fine. I went to see him and everything was fine. Suddenly, he went to a reception or something like that. He told me I tried to sit down with my knees bended and I tore my ligament again. How can you tear your ligament by just sitting?
And he was calling me a virgin at the start of this show. Like, talk about frustrated, bending on the knee. Come on.
well, he when he tore his ligament for the first time, he came on and he saw us playing football and he said, "Guys, we are feeling really energetic. Can we play football?" Which I said, "Yes,
That was
obviously,
Mojo,
come
by the
and
way.
yeah." and then and then he took on with a sliding tackle like around Man Bissaka, and few moments later he was like holding his knee and sitting down. I don't know what happened then. After that, rest is history. He couldn't
Oh
even
my
walk. I mean, like, couldn't even walk.
A tribute
Yeah,
to
Well,
yeah,
Bengali.
things like that happens.
yeah.
Things like that happens.
Okay,
Go on.
okay. Getting back, less of me, yeah, less of me. Getting back to the podcast and the topic right
See,
now.
if you
Okay,
can do it, Harry Maguire can do it faster, right? So that's the point.
he could walk at
Professionals,
least.
they should do it
That's a good
faster.
sign.
You opted not to walk. Continue.
I
You
couldn't
underestimate
walk.
Neil. He is a superhero. You underestimate Neil. Neil is a
Come
superhero. He
on.
can recover
I
quicker
do
than
not
Harry
let
Maguire.
do not let anyone else ride my bike until and unless it's a grave injury, and you know whom I'm talking about. My protege and my apprentice, whom for 3 years I haven't still allotted to. I'll leave it to it. Okay, okay. Kunalji is wondering what is happening. I'll tell you. I'll debrief you very soon. Okay, something very special happened last in the Liverpool last match is that Thiago scored a goal, and finally he's on equal terms with Van de Beek in terms of goals. So apart from that, my admiration for Thiago and how much I love him as a player and how much I used to see myself playing like him when he used to play for Bayern, when he used to play for Barcelona. And the deep lying playmaking ability is very rare, and it's something that we overlook sometimes. That someone of such caliber and such poise, taking the ball off the midfield, turning, who can dribble, who can turn, who can shoot, who can play inch perfect through balls over the top and with the ground. Someone who is an all round package, Kunal. So having had this top start season, I know we have discussed this multiple times. Still, Thiago is someone I do not exclude from my podcast. And the thing is that since that he has a goal and his confidence is and his stock is on the rising part, you think with the support that he has tonight in Wijnaldum and Fabinho, you think to see the best of Thiago against McTominay and Fred, to say the least?
Well, the answer is no. Simply because you won't see the best of Thiago. You might see a better Thiago than what you have already seen. Uh, Primarily because one part was that he hadn't scored a goal. So now he has that. But there is an aspect where he's still adjusting to the Premier League. So, for example, if you look at the games, he's conceding a number of fouls. He's giving the balls away quite quickly. Maybe it is because of the pace of the Premier League. Another problem, of course, is we have had a lot of injuries, and we still don't have Jordan Henderson in our side. So that piece is still missing. He doesn't have adequate support. But I just hope he plays that well today. But I don't expect him to, honestly. We are yet to see the best of Thiago, and maybe that will only happen next season. But tonight is a big stage, and sometimes these kind of players, right, they really shine on the big stage. For example, I remember when we had Fernando Torres. No matter how bad he would play against a mid-table team, but he would always turn up against the top table. So maybe it's Thiago time. We never know.
Quite rightly said, and let's hope it's not. I'll take Shayan's view on this. Shayan, uh, Thiago, we've seen how much Henderson and Wijnaldum had played in defense, compensate the lack of defenders in what horrible Liverpool injury record. Sympathizing on that fact, but still, and with the adequate support tonight, the same question that I asked Kunal, I'll ask you the same. So, are you afraid that Thiago just might pull the strings and Fred and McTominay might just be out of their depth tonight with who Thiago is, isn't it? Shan, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Any day, anytime, any place, Thiago Alcantara is a better player than Fred McTominay. Don't even dare to compare him with anybody else. I like at least players like Fred and McTominay. Thiago Alcantara, his runs are really good, and he makes space to make those through balls, which Kunalda mentioned. And he's a player who can go up and take the ball and also have a look at the goal and shoot. He's a fearless player. And I think his chemistry with Jurgen Klopp is also good. I've seen Jurgen Klopp patting Thiago Alcantara at the back and saying that it was good performance. I think the chemistry between the manager and the player should be good in order to give him a boost to play for his club. And I think I think he's a player who our defenders should be very careful of, as well as when the shots are coming in, Fred and McTominay, who are really good at giving space to the players of the opposition and not blocking the shots. And they should be very careful, because the work rate of Thiago Alcantara is like god level. His work rate is amazing. He has no problem going up and down throughout the pitch for 90 minutes. He's such kind of player. So I think he's a dangerous player for us.
Not for us, a dangerous player on the respect of them. And Thiago, whenever he goes box to box like that, ends up injured with his niggling injuries. Kunalda will agree to that fact. Okay, on the aspect of someone who has been informed, I remember the last podcast that you were before the election duties, and again the same usual line talking about elections, wearing red and right wing is, and the reason I'm talking about right wing is because of this guy, because he's been playing right wing, nothing else, and no political jokes. But the fact that we slandered him left, right, and center, and he has around 8 goals in his last 11 appearances since. But before that, Prasam actually came from the United States. By the way, belated birthday to Prasam, who just celebrated
Oh,
yesterday. So happy birthday, Prasam from the United States. It is forgot because of the protests and all to wish you. So he just slandered Greenwood like the fact that if you're a Manchester United player, you just cannot score 1 goal in 25 appearances being a striker at the
I
minimum.
remember.
Yeah, Shan was there in that podcast. But the thing is, he's responded pretty well, and the goal that he took against Leicester, being the main man against a packed defense of Kagla, Soyuncu, Wesley Fofana, and likes of them who are third or fourth in the league, is no such joke. And how much impressed have you with him, with the mentality that he has shown of not giving up? He's become sharper. He has what we talked about in the first half of the season, that his unpredictability became his predictability, that he always was cutting in. Now he's scoring with his right foot and his left foot. And do you think that this is only the curve that is starting to grow again, and we'll only see the best of Mason Greenwood starting from now on? Ananda?
Yes, I'm very impressed with how this lad has come back after that initial, you know, initial downgraph he had after that England fiasco. But since then, yes, he has taken his time to get back into groove. But now that he has, I can see much more improvement in his play, not only as a forward, but also in that right wing, where he is, taking on players, getting crosses in. I think you would remember that goal against Tottenham Hotspur, where he whipped in that
Yes.
cross from Cavani's diving header. So he is getting better by the day, and last match's finish, oh my god, that was just a treat to watch. Like a center forward getting the ball just on the edge of the box, taking on 3 or 4 defenders at once, and rolling that, sliding that like a cold fox, past the fox's goalkeeper. It was really a great goal to watch, and I'm really happy for him, as because he's uh, risen to the occasion, and he's playing a lot more freely now. He's got that confidence back. Yes, he is a center forward. Play him in that position, he will get you more goals. But since um, he's playing for the team, he has to stay on that right wing more often than not. And yeah, I can, as you said, I can see his graph, only rising from here. But provided that there is one condition, that he focuses solely on football. If he, does things with Phil Foden, it won't really help his career again. But overall, I'm really impressed by the growth he has shown, and I hope there's more.
Absolutely. And the fact that whatever Phil Foden and he did, only Phil Foden got away with it. And I don't know, that's because it's Manchester United and Mason Greenwood. And especially Manchester United, is the fact that it would have happened the same with Liverpool, because you can get away playing for Manchester City, but with Manchester United and Liverpool and probably Chelsea and Arsenal coming through, the Arsenal isn't even talked about these days. Okay, take Koshik's comment. Greenwood is learning from Cavani. He made a terrific run in Teles's free kick in the last game too. True, but he missed the header. That's what's been missing from his game. That's what our center forwards do not. That's what most center forwards do not have anymore. Heading. And क्या बोले, और the game has changed so much. Ayanda has grown old, including me. So okay, the most interesting part. Somebody was supposed to say. Somebody was saying something. कोई म्यूट कर दिया डर से शायद. No. Okay. Okay.
No,
Going
no.
to the tech. Going to the tech. It was Shine. He unmuted himself to say something, then decided better. Chalo. डर गया साले. Going on to the tactical analysis segment, all of your favorites, I know. Kunalji has already seen the tactical analysis that we do, because it's the same slides that we're going to run through. So I'll start with Kunalji himself on this particular slide. Chalo. This is the match against Chelsea and Liverpool very recently. So see how Salah, Mane, Firmino, Keita, they high press. And even in the FA Cup third round, we see how Liverpool were high pressing. And the fact that Rashford into Greenwood and Rashford dribbling past Trent Alexander-Arnold time and again, do you think that Kunal just talked about how pragmatic and how Jurgen Klopp wants to go back to the roots, and how he always sticks to what his game plan is, even though the opposition might have a better hand of him? But do you think that maybe, just maybe tonight in such a big occasion where he needs the points, would you think that there would be a tactical reshuffle?
No, you will never see that with Jurgen Klopp. That will be the. He has never done that, honestly. You look at the seasons of Borussia Dortmund when they were on a decline. They were playing well, they were creating chances, but they were losing, right? And the reason for that was he always used to go on the attack and they used to concede on the counter. This time, when we have conceded the goals post January, it's a very similar pattern for us as well, right? We have lost a lot of defenders. We don't have our top three defenders, center backs, right? We have lost other players due to injuries, but Klopp had already decided, like before this, when the first game started, we was looking at, okay, we used to press, but not that high. So what's happening now? But he was pressing absolutely in a very crazy manner, and that was the reason why he has brought in Thiago, because he knows that when you press up the pitch, the spaces becomes what do you say, narrow.
Limited.
So who
Limited.
is the guy who can basically break those spaces, create those passes? That was what Thiago was brought in for.
And play in a
Instead of
small
that,
amount of space, right?
yeah, what we have ended up doing is we have that right wing situation and we have that center back situation, because of which first Aston Villa beat us 7-2, and then people have now found a way to beat us using that. Real Madrid beats us in the Champions League using that. There have been a number of clubs who have beaten us using the same tactic, and I would not expect anything different tonight either. I think Rashford will start tormenting Trent on that right wing. So that will be the pattern of the game, at least on that right wing from United side.
Quite
No
quite.
pragmatism expected.
Okay, I'll have a next slide that actually emphasizes this. Neil, I'll go straight to you on this. Is okay, let's have you up top. Okay. The fact is that you can see the score line is befitting of the performance that day. What happened was in the fact that you see how high Liverpool are playing. See, there are umpteen amount of balls that a Rodri or a Kevin De Bruyne can play that will get you guys into trouble, and that you get, and this goal line could have been much more significant than what it already is. And I don't understand the pragmatism that Klopp has with what he plays and what he decides to play. But sincerely, you see what Kunalji said, that Liverpool are targeted on the right back slot, the channel between the right back and the centre back, the opposition left wing, where Rashford plays, where Vinicius Junior of all players tormented you guys and scored a goal and assist, and he had two goals. It's come to a point that it's digging your own grave, isn't it, Neil?
Yes, absolutely. There is the whole backline of ours plays so far up that at times you don't even realize, if you're not a football fan or if you don't follow thoroughly, a newcomer would probably see Trent Alexander-Arnold to be a right winger rather than a right back or being right wing back. A newcomer would look up to him as a, okay, he's a good winger, nice winger, yeah, good crosses. That is the level of, on the pitch where he remains mostly. And we were covered up last season and the season before that and the season before that, because we had Henderson to cover him up in the position of right back. We have seen numerous times, and I have actually given you some images and pointed you out that, here is Trent, he's moving up, Hendo is coming down to protect his position. We have seen that over and over the times, but Hendo is not there. We have some crisis regarding our midfield as well. Klopp wouldn't play Shaqiri. I don't know why, some personal grudges or something. Also, Shaqiri has handed the partial transfer request. Anyway, at the same point of time, when you play such a high line, when your defenders are such up, the first thing that comes to your mind is the ball would be sent right above, like exactly what Tony Cruz did, right? Or how Aston Villa have beaten us 7-2. When you're playing such a high line, it's a responsibility of the goalkeeper as well to move forward. If you don't move forward, the length of the pitch remains the same. When you're playing such high line, your goalkeeper needs to move forward as well. Because if there is a through ball, if there is a long ball where Rashford can chase and beat easily, Trent can be beaten easily, even, I mean, there's no shadow of a doubt of that. At least there should be 50-50 chance for Allison to go there and just clear the ball, do anything, just clear the ball from there. If he sticks to that place or position, it won't happen. We have seen how Ederson comes up, right? City doesn't play so much of, a high line, but they maintain a higher line as well. Not as much as Liverpool does, but yes, they maintain a higher line. And we've seen what Ederson have been doing. He's moving out and he's clearing the balls. So yeah, why not? Well, we should. That's also a point. And considering the fact that I've been hearing in the last fixture, the proper schedule fixture as well, people were saying and people were commenting that such a inexperienced defense against Cavani and everything. I was there. I was live there. I was commenting over there that Nat Phillips is absolutely a brilliant choice to be a defender against Edinson Cavani. Nat Phillips has 89 percentage of ball winning ability, and we have seen over the time that he's brilliant. It's leave it whether he's a good defender, bad defender. On the air, he's really good. And if you want to stop Cavani, you need someone like that. When you don't have pace. See, we don't have options that we can beat you in pace, right? We don't have Van Dijk, we don't have Gomez, we don't have Matip. We have Kabak, we have Nat Phillips, and we have the other
Reece
guy.
Williams.
Reece Williams. I keep forgetting his name. Anyway, I'm sorry. So speed is not our forte at this point of time. So what we can do is just concentrate the parts that where we can counter them. At times when there is a counter attack or where there is a through ball, I guess Rashford will score. But on times when we can defend, we have to give our 100%. There is no other way that we could stop you guys. I think Nat Phillips is actually a good option when Cavani is considered to be the aerial threat.
I'll agree with that to some extent because he's partially right. But on the same note, and I'll go to you on this on the final tactical slide that I have is you see this is the reverse fixture by the way that played out in a stalemate. The fact that see how much high Wijnaldum actually pushes up, right? And Thiago is actually covering that space in midfield. But with this United side, with a rejuvenated Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka coming up with the numbers again had a assist last game week as well. You see just one turnover where McTominay or Fred or both McTominay and Fred, even Paul Pogba coming up with the tackle in an assist in that goal against in the FA Cup third round, and you see the fact that just one ball and two men are already on the run. Two men on either sides of the flanks are already on the run. See, where I fail to understand the part of Liverpool have already been explained by Kunalji and Snigdonil. The fact that they move up, they stretch out wide, but they do not cover the gaps. But the fact with United is that they all know that we are going to play those long balls. Lindelof is going to play that long ball. Pogba is going to play that long ball. Bruno is going to try those Hollywood passes. And there's only one outlet, and that is Rashford. And that is the only one person who has the pace to make that run. Essentially, cutting him off that, probably what I think Wijnaldum will play off the right and actually might just do a man marking job on him or do a Herrera on Marcus Rashford. And would you think that the match, even though Klopp is pragmatic, we are underestimating one fact that he's one of the best tacticians in world football, isn't he? And you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. So one thing that we are all thinking that Marcus Rashford will go up against Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I really don't think that will be the case because Pogba will be on that side of the pitch. Marcus Rashford will probably face off against Andrew Robertson. But then again, yes, that
No, in the
long
reverse
ball.
picture, Pogba played right wing and Marcus
Okay,
played on the left wing.
maybe, yeah. So maybe that will be the case, and if that is the case, yes, Trent is in a lot of trouble. Uh, and if that happens, as you said, that those long balls will be inevitable. Lindelof has already proved he can be a great protege to Tony Cruz with those delicious long balls. But, being realistic, yes, any one of them from Lindelof, Pogba, or Bruno will find its way. Even with Cavani there, he might even act as a layoff. But again, as Neil pointed out, that Matt Phillips, or I think his name is Matt Phillips. No, I don't think it's Matt Phillips. Whatever, Phillips will be there. He's a good ball winner, so that is going to be a good aerial battery. But then again, Rashford's runs are mainly what we look forward to. And uh, talking about Wijnaldum man marking him, it could be a possibility. Now, in this picture that you've highlighted, that there is a lot of space in the center. I think we have already gone about this in the podcast, because as McTominay and Fred protect the defensive line, and that gap between them and Bruno in the midfield is a huge gap, as depicted here. So Thiago, if he plays properly, could have a field day there. But then again, as because Liverpool's central defensive pairing is not that great, so Alexander Arnold and Robertson could not mud out to their heart's extent. And yeah, that
No,
midfield
one thing on that just struck me is that do United purposefully force Liverpool to play through the middle and actually negate their threat on the wings, because their only creativity is through the wings. They don't play centrally at all, at all. And we in the match against that we had in the cup third round, we strangled Liverpool off the ball in the wide areas. They had the ball in the wide areas in the midfield line, but whenever they came central, we forced them central in and around the box. They had just one shot on target, that was from Thiago Alcantara, long range drive. So is this, even we talk about Klopp being a master tactician, Ole isn't that far shabby, is he?
Well, we underestimated Ola a lot, but he's proven us wrong on countless occasions. But I'll go with Kunalji's point here, that Klopp doesn't like to change his tactics that much. Yes, he is great, but if he will persist with the things he has, he has strengths in, and that is his fullbacks, who are great crossers of the ball. But as the game stretches wider, it comes more into United's favor. And if that happens, then Liverpool are likely to get caught out. And with Diogo Jota's inclusion in place of Sadio Mane, I think they will probably transit to a 4-2-3-1, with Jota going forward more often than not, with Salah staying back in the right wing, and maybe Thiago or Wijnaldum taking on that left hand side.
And rotating as well. Quite essentially right on the. And we have seen that pattern of play from Liverpool, that it's almost etched into our memory. Okay, around for 20 minutes to go for the match. The match kicks off at 12:45. By the way,
Can I just
Neil, go on.
Can
Yeah,
you
go on.
just go to the last slide that you were showing?
Sure.
Tell me who's playing in your left wing. Who's playing there in the left wing?
That's Martial. Martial and Rashford interchange position.
Yeah, what on earth is he doing there? I mean, who he's marking someone? He's doing something. What is he doing? What is his
Martial
purpose
doesn't
there?
mark.
At exact
Martial doesn't
position
mark.
where he is, just look at his position. Okay, what is he trying to do? He's not even. You look at Rashford's position. He's in a position where he can get a falls back or something. Get a mistake like Gerrard slip or something and move forward. What is he exactly doing or trying to do anything? I really want to know. What is his role there?
Well, defensively, as we all know, Martial is not that an enthusiastic player or an energetic player, if I say so myself.
I
He will
can't
not
even
track
figure
back.
out whether he's looking inside the field or reading that Standard Chartered. Okay, I need to create a bank account. I heard good bank here.
Yes,
Look at his position. Where is he? What's he doing?
we know, and we are also hurt by that fact many times.
No, but Martial will win the
Everyone is
Ballon d'Or next
marking.
season with Sancho coming in.
Everyone is marking some
Come
player
on,
or
man,
the
drop
other.
your
Look at the
Sancho.
end. See, look at every United player. Okay, every other United player. Everyone is marking someone or the other. Now look at Martial.
We feel the pain. We feel the pain.
Awkward silence. I don't have me to have awkward silence. Okay, prediction time right now. Okay. I'll start with Shan. Shan, no more bold predictions, yaar. Sahi prediction kar do aaj.
AWB for
I
a hat
think
trick.
no. That's not the case today. I think that Liverpool will score a goal today. So it will not be a clean sheet for Manchester United, just like a bold
When
prediction.
is it a clean
Right?
sheet for us? Ever,
I,
yaar.
I think Jota is going to score a goal today, and I think He is the X factor in that Liverpool team, and with long balls missing from Virgil van Dijk, I think it will be a great deal for Liverpool to nick in some goals. And I think Diego Jota will score one. And for me, I think that Liverpool defense will have no answers, literally no answers for Edinson Cavani. And I think he is going to score many goals, as well as Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. So I think it will be a 4-1 victory for Man U.
Oh my god. Oh my god. If United 10 beat Liverpool 4-1, I matlab,
You will give 41 rupees to Sans GP account.
I don't have even 41 rupees to GPay. Itna halat kharab hai. I'll beg more and steal 41 rupees to send Cheyenne on if we beat 4-1. But on a pragmatic note, I'll take Kunalji's note for this predictions.
I agree with him actually. I think it will be a very similar score line. I don't think we'll score. That's another thing. Okay.
No, seriously,
Tell
come
you
on,
why.
Kunalji. Seriously.
Okay. So I think this is a philosophy of I've been watching football for many years now, and I think जो season end में जो results आते हैं at times, right? They are actually it's like a summation of what you have done through the season, and they're actually those are God given results, right? That you have not done well through the season, so this is your final report card, right? And that's where we are right now. We don't deserve a top four. Let's be very honest, right? We haven't played that well. I don't think we are winning this, and honestly, we need one, last kick in the back. That what we are thinking right now is, oh, we are getting back, we are going there. That's not the case. People are not putting in those shifts. You remember when I spoke to you on the Liverpool versus Real Madrid game? It was all about putting in effort. They're not put in any effort, despite the fact that there have been crucial games. You can put in a shift and you can still go through. We haven't done that. We haven't done it in simple games. We haven't done the simple things. We haven't done the tougher things. We haven't done the hardworking things. So if you sum it up, our season is like that. And very honestly, we deserve a 4-0 loss against Manchester United to tell all our players where we actually stand today. United is miles better than Liverpool right now. Let's be very honest. That's where we are right now, right? And this, I think today's result will be a reflection of that. That's what I believe. Our left wing is absolutely, I have no words for it. Okay. I don't think Natflip is a good player. He applies himself. He's a fighter. He's punching above his weight, but I don't think he has it in him to stop Cavani. I'll be very honest. Right? Midfield could be run over, honestly.
The fact
And
that Kunalji, you spoke about even having Fred and McTominay going up against Thiago, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and you spoke highly of Fred and
yeah,
McTominay, gives dividends of the fact that Liverpool aren't
because
actually putting in the shift.
because you look at Wijnaldum and he literally there. You go to Company Park and you will see uncles putting in more of a shift than Wijnaldum. I'll be very honest with you. He doesn't. I don't know why he plays for our team. To be honest, right now, he has done a lot for us over the years, but it's been 146 games since Gini Wijnaldum last gave us an assist, and that's a fact. Can you beat that? 146 games. So what are we talking about? How can he be an excellent player? How can you even consider him like that? So he doesn't put a shift in, right? He'll be on the right hand side, where will be vulnerable with Trent Alexander-Arnold already. I think Neil already pointed out we had Henderson over there. Had Fabinho playing there, I would have still thought, okay, fine, we'll cover up. We are not going to cover that area. And it's sign of what's coming. I'm telling you. I think it will be 4-win, 4-0, 4-1. The only hope we can have is if Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, if United gets too greedy, right, putting all their people forward, and then you have Salah or Jota absolutely
Countering.
free and running on. That's the only hope, I would say. Nothing apart from
Quite depressing from, very honestly, Kunalji. Anna, you agree with what both of them, or have they lost it completely? Like, seriously, 4-1 win against, not possible against former champions, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So no, I'm not going for that bold of a prediction because I remember from the last podcast, in the reverse fixture only, that I said that whoever breaks the opponent's defense better will win the game. The match ended stalemate. So I will say the same thing again this time around, because Lindelof and Bailly have not played many games together, not at all almost, because so that will be a chink in the armor in Manchester United's defense. Liverpool's defense is already shaky. So again,
Also, the
whichever,
fact Bai started 48 hours ago.
yeah, and
True.
so whoever does a better job at breaking the opponent's defenses again will be the winner. I don't think it will be a stalemate. It will be more along the lines of that cup match we had. And with the title already lost, I think Ole will tell his players to just go out and enjoy yourselves. It's a big game, make your mark. But at the same time, we can't, exactly look away from the fact that it's Mohamed Salah up there. He's still in the race for the Golden
20
Boot. I think
goals
he
in the
has
Premier
20
League.
goals in this season. Yeah, so he will also be there. I know it's been a bad season, but he will also at least want to get hands on the Golden Boot again. Diogo Jota, yes, he has been making me bleed in the 6 weeks in the FPL. He has not really done me proud, but yeah, good players come good in big matches. So I'm going for a 2-2.
Okay, a draw from Ananda. Neil, to sum up what the prediction has been all about. Yeah, not this Neil, the other Neil. So, what do you think is going to happen? Honest reviews only. And put your. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so let me get things straight first. We have been only attacking through our wings, right? The entire world, footballing world knows that. Only wings we have been attacking. I think Klopp learnt a bit from that. We have Thiago in the midfield who can move up, and productively he can move up. And we have probably Jota or Firmino who would be sitting a bit down and playing as a number 10 or false 9. So we can attack centrally in this particular game with Harry Maguire out, and that's a big factor considering Eric Bailly started 2 days or 3 days ago. That would be a big point that I would be giving to Liverpool. That is a great option that Klopp chose. Number two is the scoreline. I think Liverpool will win because see, you guys are a lot confident at this point of time, but we are not. We have to prove our points and we have to get into that slot of top four. We just need it right now. We have lost matches where we should have won by miles or something. We should have scored in double figures in some matches where we lost the match. And the attempts on goal or the percentages of it, my goodness, let's not even talk about that. I am better in maths than that anyway. And you know how am I in mathematics, Shamrat? Anyway,
At least you don't say 8 by 8 is equal to 0.
no, I'm not that unique, thank you. uh,
Your mother said that, by the way.
yeah, she did. She's brilliant in mathematics. She's absolutely brilliant. Anyway, glad I didn't fail, man. Anyway, uh, maybe maybe
No,
yeah.
no, no. Only respect and love for auntie. No disrespect. This 8 by 8 case is
No,
something else entirely.
completely love and respect for my mother, but yeah, she does brilliant things. She's writing down a list 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, and where are the other gone? Where बीच में कहाँ है
Fibonacci
वो?
sequence.
18 19 कहाँ गए? वो दो लाने थे ना, इसलिए 18 19 गायब हो गए. Anyway, let it be. So I think maybe a 3-1 to Liverpool.
Okay.
You keep on asking people about the forecast. Why don't you say something about the forecast? You keep asking people about the forecast. Why don't you say something about the scoreline? Shoot.
Whenever I have said something about the scoreline, the opposite has happened. So I was doing it in the first half of the season. I was predicting all draws, and Shayan asked me that why I predict all draws. Is that whenever I have predicted a draw, United have actually won. I said, Shayan, that I'll reveal my reason in the end of the season. Now, since it's almost nothing left to play for in the Premier League, top four is almost secure, almost. More or less, I think we have earned that fourth spot, considering that the Leicester actually won against us. But
Three
the
more
fact that,
points and we are confirmed second. So
yeah, so the fact is that if you ask me for a prediction, is that I'd say that I'm actually fearful on this is because Fabinho and Wijnaldum are playing, because Thiago will have what he needs in his arsenal to actually play that GOAT game that we have all expected. And Fred and McTominay, as much as we know, they are often on and off at times. You see Fred become a Patrick Vieira sometimes and then give the ball away. Like Fred has more thumbs up than successful passes. Like Fred says more sorry more times than successful passes. But then again, he has come up with free assists, he's come up with crucial moments. And it's in this Manchester United nature to concede first. Then as Solskjaer, like all his press conferences, not giving straight answers. See that we just sometimes need a kick on our arse to actually get jolted up. I think that will be the case if United will go one down, will come back in the game. But I think it honestly, this is my honest, this no jinxing. I think this Liverpool want it more than Manchester United right now, and they need it more. So I think this would be a 2-1 Liverpool victory. Very seriously, no jinxing, absolutely no jinxing. So I hope that that's not the case, and United guys put on a good show. Yeah, it would be difficult, but I think Bruno Fernandes will be strangled off the ball. Wijnaldum should have a big game, cutting off that channel that Bruno likes to operate and going doubling up on the wingers that United have wherever Rashford starts. Then again, if United has to play well, I'd say Pogba is the number one key, not Bruno. It's Pogba because on the wide he is sometimes unstoppable with his physicality. And if United can get into those positions and Pogba can leap on his deadly crosses, there's only one place that's going in. That's the back of the net from Invincible. So that's pretty much about it from my predictions. No jinxing tonight. 2-1 win to Liverpool. That's what I say. Record kar lo. That's pretty much about it. Okay, 5 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go for the kickoff. I'll let you guys get your beers and popcorns. Kunal ji will probably drown in his own tears right now. I don't know. So, okay, thank you guys joining in for some on such short notice, some already predetermined. Let's hope for actually a good game and the Northwest Derby actually lives up to what it is. Chalo, GGMUYNWA. Chalo, bye bye. See you on the next one. Bye. Chalo. Okay, that was pretty much about it from Podcast with Neil. The show is almost up, and you have to do one thing, that is hit that subscribe button. Chalo, 1.2k is on the horizon, and you guys can make it today itself. यार predictions के लिए कुछ तो कर दो यार, be working very very hard. And that's pretty much about it. Baad baki matches coming on next week. Lots of matches to follow. Podcast will be back on short notice as well. These things require genuine effort, guys. Subscribe marna ekdam zaruri hai. Baki nothing much. Enjoy the match as always. This is your boy Neil for Netflix Football. Your favorite host, right? Hit like to answer that favorite host question. Chalo, bye bye for now. Let's hope to enjoy a good Northwestern derby. And let's hope that United win the match. But I do sincerely think it's going to be Liverpool that come out on the edge. So, bye bye for now. Let's chalo, milte hai. Bye bye.